Okay, it's got everything. A little bit of everything. Okay, this is absolutely probably there's only one other thing I could do is add a negative sign on the exponent. Okay, so since step one is to isolate, here it goes. It is not isolated. What I mean by that is you find the exponent, you're like, oh, well, that hits this paren. I need to isolate this term. Okay, so the first step is I'd like to get rid of the negative 5. Okay, so the inverse operation would be add 5 to both sides. Easy enough. So I get negative 768, got it, equals negative 3 times. Now the question Miriam, I think it was Miriam, was asking, can I just distribute here? No, you can't. Here's why you can't distribute. This term right here is really this. It's a cube root of 2x plus 24. All of that to the 4th power. And then this negative 3 is out front. This can't distribute there. It just doesn't. It can't go through the radical. It just doesn't go and distribute. So the other thing I can do is, since it's negative 3 times, the inverse of times would be divide. Let's divide both sides by negative 3. Okay, that's how you're going to clear out that negative 3. This will go away. Here I'm going to get positive. I don't know what 3 is into 768, so I'll do it here. It goes in twice. 1 left over, drop the 6. 3 into 16 is 5 times. 1 left over, drop the 8. That's supposed to be an arrow. And 3 times, I get 256. I've seen that before. It happens to be 16 squared. It happens to be 4 to the 4th. After a while, you start to see the same numbers. Okay, so now I'm down to this. Now it's isolated. Okay, so isolation, this one was no. We had to go inverse operations to get it there. Inverse operations to get it isolated. Okay, step 2, you raise it to the reciprocal exponent. Okay, well, the reciprocal exponent on this one is, here's my exponent, 4/3. I need to flip that one. So I'm going to get 3/4, both sides, to the 3/4 power. Okay, we do the check on the bottom. Is the root even? If so, if yes, that's where we add plus or minus. This one has an even root. So I know over here I'm going to have to put plus or minus. I'm going to write it in radical form. The 4th root of 256, I have plus or minus of that, and then I'll take it to the 3rd power. Here, these cancel. 4/3 times 3/4. 4/3 times 3/4. I get 12 over 12, which is 1. Some people know how to cross reduce. We did it with rational expressions. Doink, 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 doink. They doink away. If everything disappears, I told you to write a 1. Well, x to the 1st power is just x. Okay, now let's evaluate this. Sorry, I don't know if you can tell that's a plus and a minus, and then we have this, the 4th root. Let's find the 4th root of 256. 256 happens to be, I'll do all the 2's in case you don't see it. I know that 4 goes in there, but I'll go ahead and say 2 times 1, 28, 2 times 64, 2 times 32, 2 times 16, 2 times 8, 2 times 4, 2 times 2. I can divide by 2. I'm pretty smart that way. I need sets of 4. I can't divide by much more than a 2. Sometimes a 3. 5, though, I'm pretty good with. I have 2 sets of 2, so this is going to pull out a 2 and another 2. Come on out, make the 2 family. But remember, it's plus or minus. So I've got 4 plus or minus 4 cubed is equal to x. Okay, well, that means I have 4 cubed or negative 4 cubed. You guys have seen this just recently. 4 cubed, 64, negative 64. To be honest, I didn't think I'd get 2 answers that were literally just, oh, I'm not done yet. I'm a dip. Did I lose anyone here? Here, here, here. What did I do?
You dropped the 24.
I dropped everything. All of this. I mean, this should have all been here. 2x plus 24. Yeah, these fractions did reduce down to a 1. I still have everything inside the prims. Okay, so I'm not quite done. I do have 2 answers here. Let me kind of cover here. I went ahead and I evaluated here. The 4th root of 256 is going to be plus or minus 4. And I need to cube that, so I get 64 or I get negative 64. So here I'm going to write plus or minus 64 because it can be either one. That's equal to this 2x plus 24. This is where you end up with 2 different numbers. And I really was expecting 2 different numbers. Okay, draw your walls. Step 3, we've already evaluated. I need to disco moo. Okay, I need to subtract 24. And you're like, how do I subtract 24 from this side? Very interesting. Well, let's write it like this. Remember on the quadratic formula, x equals opposite b plus or minus, and then we ended up with some number? Okay, let's just write negative 24 plus or minus 64 for right now. I mean, you could do it. You could say, okay, I'll take 64 minus 24, and I get 40. And I can take negative 64 and a negative 24 and get 88, negative 88. So I could actually just say, okay, now I've got 40 or I've got negative 88. It's so much easier to write like this until we're ready to actually evaluate. Okay, now divide by 2. Now it's kind of like the quadratic formula when we got down to it. Negative 24 plus or minus 64 all divided by 2. Okay, so my 2 answers will come from here. Negative 24 plus 64 we know is going to be 40 over 2 because I did it right here. And the other one will be, this is negative 24 plus 64 over 2. So I get 20. My other answer will be negative 24 minus 64 over 2, which is, we did it right here, negative 88 over 2, which is negative 44. So here are the 2 answers. Let me stop there.